Hello everyone, welcome back to Car Fix. Today we are going to be reviewing the Moza Racing R5 bundle, which is a 5.5 Newton meter direct drive racing wheel, which I purchased a couple of weeks ago. It was £569 here in the UK, shipped free from GTO Mega. I'm not sponsored, but it's a lot cheaper to buy from a reseller than to buy from Moza direct, as the shipping costs are extortionate, as I'll go into later. But I want to start with the positives first, and I'm coming from the Thrustmaster TSPC Racer, which is a belt driven wheel, and straight off the bat I think that is a very good wheel, the TSPC Racer. It's round at about the same peak Newton meter. I think it's a great starter wheel. It's fairly cheap, and I've got nothing really bad to say about it, apart from this bundle probably cost a similar price, maybe slightly more, but the fidelity in force feedback and strength in this wheel is so much nicer. The smoothness of the wheel, just with it being direct drive, is so good to feel. It's just so good to drive with. It's so responsive. You can correct slides a lot easier. The consistency is there straight out of the box. There was no learning curve for me moving from that wheel to this one. It was just instant bang. I could use it straight away. So that is my general overview of it and how much I do really love this direct drive wheel, and I'm so glad I went direct drive, because I've been thinking about it for a long time. And being a sim racer who's not mega serious, I thought, is all the hype about direct drive just too much for me to justify the cost? But now these budget ones are out, this, the Fanatec smaller one, I think they're much more affordable. And personally, I do believe that if you're going to be a semi-serious sim racer or somebody who really wants to play a lot of racing games, then it's worth the extra money in buying one of these wheelbases that are direct drive. I will now move on to the actual wheel that comes in the bundle. So this is the ES wheel. It's 280mm round wheel with a flat section at the bottom, a bit like a GT wheel. What can I say about it? The leather is very soft to the touch. It comes with a built-in RPM light, which is a very nice touch. You don't get that on pretty much any other wheel, definitely not at this price range. It's got loads of buttons on there, so everything, there's plenty of buttons for mapping. The only two things I would say that I would expect to be on this wheel, or could be a little bit better, is I would like to have one toggle switch. Whether it was a circular one you can turn, or whether it's just like one you can flick up and down, just for easy adjustment to brake bias and things like that. And the other thing that I've noticed using this wheel is that if you don't use it with gloves, which I don't, and probably a lot of people who are going to be buying this wheel at this price point are not going to be using gloves to race with, that the stitching in here where you put your thumbs is quite rough. So over time, when you're doing a longer race or a longer just gameplay session, that you can see there that there's quite a rough section on the edge of the stitching, and it can be quite irritable. Like the stitching is not the softest, is all I'll say on that. But that's a small gripe for something of this price. The wheelbase itself is very small, even compared to my TSPC Racer. It's 10-15 centimeters high, maybe 20, and the same wide. The quick release system and the shaft is absolutely rock solid. There is no movement there whatsoever. Any movement is from my rubbish wheel stand that I've got. The quick release system, if I just quickly snap it off for you, is absolutely brilliant in my opinion as well. And a lot of people say this is the best quick release system on any sim equipment. You literally just, it is stiff, and my wheel, but it just comes straight off. No wires, it's wireless, nothing extra to do with it, and just bang, it's back on. So for the base and this wheel, well, it's not the most, this is the most budget wheel that Moza do, the actual steering wheel. I think it's a very nice option. And the base and the wheel as a basic package, I think you can probably get them separate for about $450. Is a very nice starter setup. Now move on to the pedals. The pedals are a two-piece pedal set. They're a full metal construction. I'll just move them off the desk. I'll put them on the floor down there. My dog's on the camera. So they're a full metal construction, metal face plates, metal foot plate with the Moza logo in on it, and as you can see, it's all metal construction, and the plugs are at the side to plug them into the wheelbase. It's got the rubber stoppers if you want to use it on carpet, and it's also got the mounting holes if you're going to mount it to a rig. These pedals, I would say, are a budget set of pedals. I think the Moza sell them for about £100. If you want a clutch, it's an extra 40. And the main gripe I have with these pedals, and something I think should come with the bundle, even if they put the bundle price up by £15, is the brake mod that Moza now sell on their own website for £30. I think is a must-have for these pedals. I've got it on order now. My old set of pedals was a T3PA Pro by Thrustmaster with the conical brake mod. So I'm used to a much stiffer pedal with much more realistic feel. As you can see, these, my nice Peaks are slippers, but the travel on the pedal is what's donating the brake response. It's got nothing to do with pressure. It's all about the movement of the pedal, which is exactly the same as the accelerator, and it's too soft. My biggest gripe, I think these are a solid set of pedals for a beginner set of pedals. I've got no problem with them. They're built nicely, but the brake mod is needed. And this is one of my biggest gripes with this wheel and bundle setup and these pedals as a whole. I think Moza would have been better off charging £20 extra for the bundle or these pedals on their own and just including the mod. Because it seems like no resellers in the UK or the US seem to stock the mod that is out for these pedals. You have to order it direct from China, from Moza, and to the UK it's £29 for the mod, and it's about £8 shipping. So you're looking at mid-30s getting up to £40 and 10 to 20 days in shipping time before you can truly get some good feel out of your pedal. Either make all of your resellers stock this mod or include it in the bundle, preferably at the same price, as it would just make the bundle much better pedal wise. Or even if you have to subsidise the mod a bit in the bundle, I would have rather paid an extra £15 or £20 and got that mod as part of the bundle than having to pay nearly £40 a month later and still haven't got the mod. But that's my little rant. More at the actual not supplying the brake mod to resellers or in the bundle than it is against these pedals. As a budget £100 set of pedals, I actually think they're really good. They're much better quality than my Thrustmaster pedals were. Obviously the Thrustmaster pedals came with a clutch, but this is the second point I'm going to say with these pedals and this bundle as a whole. If you are going to be wanting to be a fairly serious sim racer and you are on a budget, this wheel and base can be bought, I think it's £350 for the base, £129 for the wheel. So you're looking about £450 £480 if you buy them both together. Personally, if I was buying this again and everything was in stock, because bear in mind only the bundles were in stock when I bought this, if GT Omega had the base and this wheel separate and I could have bought separate pedals, that's what I would have done. So for not much more money, you can get these two, and you could have gone out for £150 to £200, which would leave you in the same ballpark as buying the bundle. You could have got the Thrustmaster TLCM load cell pedals or the Fanatec CSL load cell pedals. So that's something to bear in mind dependent upon stock, because I know there is stock issues and shipping costs from Moza Direct are very expensive. So again, if it was me, I would buy the base and the wheel from somewhere like GT Omega. I'm just mentioning them because of where I got it from, and I know you can get them from there in the UK. There's a load of others, but if they have them in stock, I would buy this separate and a separate set of pedals, whatever set of pedals you want. Personally, I would go out and buy, at my lower end budget, not mega obsessed sim racer level, the TLCM or CSL load cell pedals. The software that comes with the game, I will flick to that now on my screen and go through that and edit it into the video, because I think it's very intuitive software. It's simple, it works, it's changeable on the fly, and I really like it. So I'll flick over to that now. Okay everyone, yes, so we're into the software, and as you can see, when you plug it in, this is the home screen, and all your devices that you've got will connect. So there's the wheel that he's done separate, the actual base and the pedals. So as you can see, you can set them to wherever you want. I've had them unplugged from the base, so I'm going to have to recalibrate them. So if we go into the actual wheelbase settings here, you can see at the top you've got basic, advanced, an equalizer setting and miscellaneous, but it comes with loads of presets for all the games already. So AC, ACC, AMS2, R Factor, Race Room, iRacing, so Dirt Rally, and you can customize any of these and create a preset. So you can start off with a baseline of AC officials. You can see I've made a couple custom in ACC, BMMG, and you just create a preset and you can put it into any one of the tabs and call it whatever you like, so you can quickly just switch to it. You can even do it on the fly. You can close the or minimize the game and just switch to any of these presets and it will just work in game instantly. So basic settings, you've got your road sensitivity, your maximum steering angle, which obviously changes as you change setting on here or however you've customized it. You've got your force feedback intensity, wheel speed, so that's how quickly the wheel will rotate in your hand or spring back to center. Dampers, wheels and spring strength. And then on advanced settings, you've got hands-off protection. So if you crash and your base starts to oscillate, it'll stop if it realizes there's no force against it. There's inertia of the wheel. The friction, like how strong it is in your hand. And all these type of settings you can adjust. I'm not going to go through them all separately. I think Boosted Media has got an in-depth guide on this actual software and what each setting does. I'm just showing you it just as a quick reference, but I really like this FB equalizer setting because as you can see here, it has body bumps, curb effects, ABS, and curb effects at higher speeds, and then the grass and sand effects. And on the fly in game, you can go in and tweak this just up and down and instantly feel a difference. So if you go into a game and you think, oh, I'm barely feeling the curbs, you can literally just go into this, crank it up a bit, quickly test rolling over a few curves and be like, yes, I can really feel them curves now. And it lets you really fine tune the effects that you want to feel. I like a lot of curve feeling. I like to feel like I'm running over a curb when I'm running over a curb, so I run it quite high. Obviously the body bumps and ABS you can use as you like, but I really like the curb effects and how you can really dial these in per game to how you want it to feel. And then on the miscellaneous, there's just a soft limits setting. I don't actually know what this one does, but if anyone does, let me know in the comments. But I really like this software. It's easy, intuitive. It can be updated on the fly in-game, so you don't have to come in and out, change the settings all the time, reload games. The wheel, you can change the RPM indicator, so if the lights are slightly in front or behind, you can customize them all and save your settings again for each car, game, whatever you want to do. The pedal settings are there in general. Obviously, you can click it, customize the curves, whatever you want to do on the pedal settings. There's the dash settings if you've got one, separate handbrake settings, and then there's the firmware updates. So personally, like I say, it's massively intuitive, this software. It's extremely easy to use, and I really like this software. You can launch direct from it, customize each game, each car, save, update, whatever you want to do. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the settings and the software. So I'm going to flick back to my final thoughts. So my final thoughts on this bundle and quick comparisons to my TSPC Racer again. So final thoughts, what do I really like about this bundle? One, it's cheap, direct drive bundle. Two, the wheelbase is small, light, super detailed, smooth, and just a dream to use. The wheel, the actual leather is soft. There's loads of buttons to be able to map. And I just think it's a good quality product for the money. The poorer points about this particular wheel are the slightly rough stitching on the inside. The point that they didn't include the brake mod as part of the bundle. But all in all, I think if you're starting out sim racer, I would be prepared to spend the extra £100 or £200 and get yourself one of these smaller direct drive wheels, even if it's the Fanatec one, over a belt driven wheel. I can't tell you how good it is, how customizable it is, and just what a great experience I'm having racing with this wheel. And just to mention to Moza support, they have a Discord channel that if you join, there's always someone available on there with setups for each game, forums for bugs, forums for support, and just general user discussion. So it's well worth signing up to the Discord if you do get one of these wheels. But overall, I am extremely happy this wheel. And yeah, go out and get yourself one if you're wondering whether you should upgrade to DD, or if you're just in the market for a new wheel. I would highly advise getting yourself one of these small DD wheels. You will not worry about the Newton meter force. Personally, I think it can be very strong at times, and the fidelity is incredible. And I will see you on the next one.